How's it going, everyone? Kim Blacktooth here. So the embargo is finally lifted, which is the perfect time to play some Nilfgaard. So this video is me telling you exactly what Nilfgaard do. What is the general idea with Nilfgaard and what are they all about? So in general, Nilfgaard is a very strong faction. They have a lot of strong units and they wage war in an elegant manner. They use precise and effective warfare to take away control from your opponent and maintain that control of the battlefield throughout the rest of the game. They do this via three particular methods: Reconnaissance, Resource Control, and then Infiltration. And these are generally your three archetypes that you'll see with Nilfgaard, and you can mix and match them if you want. So first, Reconnaissance is about surveying the environment before sending any units onto the battlefield, and gathering that intelligence in your opponent's hand and what kind of things are going to happen so you can plan ahead for the future more appropriately. And this is done by revealing cards in the opponent's hand. And you also may have to reveal some of your own, depending on what cards you play. But you have ways to negate that effect on your side while getting a lot of intelligence on the opponent's cards. So when a card is revealed in this way, it will get a small magnifying glass icon appear in front of it. And this is available to see for both players, so both players know when a card is revealed, and it will stay revealed for the entirety of the game while it's in your hand. Okay? So some example cards, you've got the leader card, Emir var Emreis, which allows you to reveal two cards randomly from your opponent's hand. Then you've got the card Aldrich, which you draw a card, your opponent draws a card, and then reveals it. So it's not a spy, you just both draw a card, so there's no card advantage increase, but the opponent's is revealed, which is very beneficial to you. And there's a lot of synergies with revealing cards, so there are cards which gain strength depending on the amount of revealed cards in each other's hands. But then you've got Seret, which is choose an opposing non-gold unit and remove one from its strength for each revealed card in both players' hands. So the more revealed cards, the better the wounding this card does. And there's a lot of synergies around revealing cards. So Reconnaissance is very, very worthwhile doing, and it allows you to really plan ahead against that Scorch or the Ragnarok or whatever you see in the opponent's hand. So the next aspect of Nilfgaard is the resource control. This allows them to secure supply routes of cards for both you and your opponent. You want to make it very bad for the opponent and optimal for yourself. So this means that Nilfgaard, in some respects, depending on what cards you play, is allowed to look at decks and shuffle them in certain ways that is more optimal for you and very suboptimal for your opponent. And here's some example cards. Cantarella. Look at the top card in your deck. You may place it at the bottom of the deck and then draw a card. So it kind of works like Prince Dennis, one face up, one face down. You get to see what the top card is. You can either draw it or put it to the bottom and then draw whatever the next one is. You've got cards like Stefan Skellen. Choose any card in your deck, then shuffle your deck and place that chosen card on top. Very strong. Okay, any card, very, very strong. Next, you've got a card like Zarthisius. Look at the top two cards in your opponent's deck and you may move one of those to the bottom of the deck. So in this way, Nilfgaard can not only fight for control of the battlefield in this particular round, but can also mess around and control future draws for future rounds, which can really maintain control for Nilfgaard and hurt your opponent quite badly. So the third aspect of Nilfgaard is Infiltration. They have a lot of disloyal units. This doesn't necessarily mean they are spies, but they go onto the opponent's side of the board and they're ready to sacrifice themselves to destabilize the opponent's forces and mess with their calculation and really just hinder them in ways that will cause chaos from within. So you've got a lot of disloyal units, but they all synergize quite well. So some example cards. The Ambassador. Add 12 strength to a random non-gold unit on your side. The disloyal card, you place it on the opponent's side, and then it adds 12 strength to your unit. You've got the Nausicaa Brigade. Remove 4 strength from a disloyal non-gold unit on either side of the board. If that unit was destroyed, gain 4 base strength. So you can have ways to play disloyal units and then deal with them, sacrifice them from the opponent's side, or if someone plays one against you, you can get a benefit from that. A very strong disloyal unit is Letho of Gullet. This gold card is 1 strength. Banish all non-gold units on the row and add their strength to this unit's base strength. When removed, set base strength to 1. So you place it on a row and all non-gold units on that row get banished from the game and he absorbs all their strength as base strength. So he can get obscenely high. So the strength doesn't actually change with Letho of Gullet, but there are a lot of really good strategies to do with Letho. So Again, Becca's Twisted Mirror is an excellent option. You can Dimeritium Shackle and use this card Treason, which allows you to bring a disloyal unit back to your side. A lot of really good plays there. Dimeritium Shackle and Scorch. So it really just consumes all units on the row and puts it into one card, which then might be easier to deal with. So next we've got Fake Ciri, a very interesting disloyal card. Gain 1 strength at the start of each turn while disloyal. If disloyal while owner passes, move to the opposing player's side. So you place it on the opponent's side of the board, and then it just starts gaining strength every turn. But when they pass, it comes immediately back to your side. So you get a free card there. So it really confuses the opponent and makes calculations a lot more difficult when they're trying to figure out if they can win or not. So Nilfgaard has those 3 ways to really cause chaos and disrupt a lot of the opponent's plays. But Nilfgaard in and of itself is a very strong faction. A lot of their cards are comparatively stronger than most other factions because they're harder to get out and require a bit more depth of play. And they have some of the most celebrated heroes across the world. Some examples: Vigilforts. Destroy a non-gold unit. Doesn't matter what strength it is, just destroy a non-gold unit. If it was on the opponent's side, your opponent draws a card and reveals it. If it was on your side, you draw and play a card. So obviously you use it on your side just to ping something with really low strength that you don't want, and then you get to draw an extra card and play it. There are some very good options for this with bronze cards that you own as Nilfgaard. Or if the opponent has been stacking up one non-gold unit really high, you can just destroy it and let them draw a card, which might be more valuable to you. Our next card is Kahir. After 2 turns, both leaders will again be available for use. So this really pushes the opponent into using their leader ability early at the risk of not getting a second activation. Okay, and you also get an extra activation yourself. So Nilfgaard is a very strong faction, a very complicated faction. I think it's going to be one of the most complicated factions out there, but they've got a lot of tools available to them, and I think it's a very interactive faction for both Nilfgaard player and the opposing player. Okay, they've got a lot of really good tools to really disrupt a lot of people, and they've got the strength to back it up. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you again very soon. There will be a gameplay video coming out at the same time as this video if you want to check that out as well. Thanks for watching, guys.